Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. I am joined here with Jenna. She is a friend of mine. She's gone to school with me. She's a freelance photographer focusing on portraits. But instead of me explaining what she does, I'm just going to go ahead and give her the floor. So go ahead, introduce yourself and let everyone know what you do.
All right, my name is Jenna, and I'm a portrait photographer living in Tampa Bay. I got into photography when I was in 3rd grade, so it's been a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Earlier than I have. I started, 2014? It's about 4 years I've been doing photography.
And you're better than me.
No, I'm not. Not at all. No, everyone has their own unique look.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of focus on a lot of saturation in my photos, but other people you have a really unique style, which I really like and enjoy.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, no, I haven't been doing photography for that long, but it's impressive. Since you were 3?
Since I was in 3rd grade.
3rd grade. Wow, that's a big difference. Sorry. No, because when I was 3, I started playing soccer, so I was gonna try and relate it, but never mind. Yeah,
okay.
no. Anyways, so how did you get started?
I was in 3rd grade. I honestly, I didn't have a lot of friends. I wasn't good at anything. I just wanted to be good at something, and photography made me really happy. I loved making these weird films and edits, and that's how it all got the game
Would you start
rolling.
on? Do you start on a phone or
An iPhone?
An iPhone.
Yes, an iPhone.
I mean, everyone's gonna start. I started with my iPhone 4S or 4 at the time, and I just kind of took pictures or whatever, and then I tell the story a bunch on these podcasts, but when I really got into it was when I convinced my dad to get a GoPro. That's when remember the era when everyone was getting the GoPro and making all those edits. That's when I started, and then I got a drone and threw the GoPro on the drone, and then from there it just kind of took off for me. So that's cool. What was were you doing portraits when you did the iPhone too, or was it more just whatever?
I was doing more of landscape. I love nature and all of that.
Have you always lived in Tampa?
I haven't. When I was 3 or 2, I lived in Texas.
Okay.
But,
I was born in Texas.
Really?
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
A town right outside of Dallas called Bonham. Super tiny town.
I was born in Round Rock.
I don't know where that is.
Right out of Austin.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. No, that's funny. So, you did landscape. What kind of landscape? Just generic, or in Texas, there's all kinds of environments out there.
Generic. Yeah.
That's cool. Who was your inspiration, or who still is your inspiration today?
Wow. Okay, that's a big one. So Stephen Hunt is probably my inspiration. He is my inspiration. I used to watch his films all the time, his surfing films with Laura Eniver, and I was wow, I really want to get into filmmaking, but went into photography, but now I'm starting to get into filmmaking.
Who's that you said?
He's an Australian filmmaker.
He's an Australian. How'd you come across him?
Laura Eniver.
I don't know who that is.
She's a surfer in Australia.
Was it off of YouTube or something?
Instagram. Yeah.
And then slowly you found.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. See, I always ask the question, but I never say who my inspiration is, and I'd say it'd have to be Sam Colder. Sam
Colder is my second inspiration. I'm not oh my gosh. He's an amazing filmmaker.
No, he is. That's pretty much where all of
Props
the little
to him.
travel edits and whatnot came from. And then there's this other guy, what's his name? He did a lot of stuff with GoPros. He was always on fishing trips, and he'd go. He's a spear fishing out in California. He'd always bring a GoPro and make all these really cool edits. So he's the one who inspired me to kind of get into that too. So it was him and Sam Colder were the two main people.
I remember when Sam
when he first started, I remember that.
Yeah, he first started. I was wow, these films are amazing. I found him on Vine.
Did you really?
Yes, that's how I came across Sam Colder.
I found him on I think it was Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, but he only had 4,000 or 5,000 followers at the time.
Exactly, yeah.
And now he just hit 1 million or something.
I know,
which is
that's
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah, and it's
I'm so happy for him.
3 years, yeah. and his stuff just keeps getting better and better, which is what also keeps pushing me to keep growing.
Shooting more,
you shoot, the better you get.
Exactly.
It goes across the line with photography and videography.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are you still going to be doing photography, or are you going to do video? Like, is there something that you see yourself doing in the future?
5 years from now, hopefully, I'll be filmmaking.
Filmmaking?
Yeah, it's just money's tight, so I'm trying to get all the equipment I can with the little money that I have.
Yeah, what kind of filmmaking do you want to do? It could be like generic. It could be like, you know, like doing the travel films, or like a lot of people like to do wedding or videography and
like
whatnot.
Travel films. I just had a brain fart.
It's all good. But yeah, no, that's cool. Like I always see people, you know, going into that realm of videography, going into the travel and whatnot, especially with how accessible some of these places are starting to become. It's pretty cool. Especially here in Tampa, there's all kinds of stuff to do here in Tampa, and like people don't know that. But the cool thing about us is that, you know, we film everything we do, pretty much, and make videos and put everything out there, which is really unique. So I think that's really cool. Have you traveled outside of the States for any like paid work?
I haven't.
Haven't?
No, I haven't.
Is there one specific place outside of the U.S. that you want to go to?
Yes. I want to go to Bali, Indonesia, so badly to film there. It's so beautiful.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's one of the places I want to go to by the end of this year.
Oh, yeah,
Even though this year is like closing it really soon.
Let's do it. Oh my gosh, let's do it.
Bring a whole bunch of our friends to go down there. That'd be cool. So I know that you like are starting to get into videography, but since you've been doing portrait photography for quite a long time now, what's been one of the more difficult parts of that?
Trying to find like the right models. I like people, like looks have nothing to do with what I want to shoot. It's more of like how people style themselves, like unique clothing. And
so like their aesthetic.
Yes.
And that goes along with the type of environment that you put them in?
Exactly, yes.
And how exactly is that hard? Like not a lot of people
that I like can really find like have what I'm looking for.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
no, because Gabriel,
he's amazing.
Yeah, when I did a podcast with him, I also done a few videos with him. I really like his style. He has a really unique style, and along with his style, he has people to go with it.
Exactly.
With all their outfits and whatnot, and the locations that he puts them in. So I can definitely understand where you're coming from that, because I mean, even though he's been blowing up recently, so it hasn't been, I don't think it's been too difficult for him to find people to model for him, but I definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is video and photos the only thing you want to do, or is there anything else that, you know, you might see yourself doing in the future?
Videos and photos, honestly.
Just pretty much videos and photos?
Yeah.
I don't see myself going outside of that, although, you know, I started trying to learn how to do music, because I want to start putting together like edits to go with my music, because sometimes it's hard to find like not copyrighted music, and sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but most of the time you don't really find the kind of music that you're looking for, especially if you do find it, it's most likely you can't use it. So yeah, that's something that I've been slowly learning how to do. It's not easy.
I know.
Not easy at all. So to close out the podcast, I always have to ask this one question to our guests, and that is, what is your favorite childhood memory? And if you don't have one, that's okay.
Honestly, like I don't have a favorite childhood memory.
All right, so what is your dream collab as a content creator?
My dream collab is probably to shoot with Sam Colder or Indie Blue or Stephen Hunt.
Honestly.
Yeah. They're amazing.
No, that'd be awesome. Did you see that? It wasn't Sam Colder, but do you know the guy,
Jordan?
the one blonde kid, and Jacob? He's friends with Sam Colder too.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
about. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, they did a workshop in Bali. There's this kid that I know, his name's Austin Dunn. He's from Palm Beach, and he was one of the, I think, 7 or 9 people selected to go to Bali with them.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and they did a whole workshop in Bali for like a whole week, so they were all over the place, like literally with the content creators. those two people, which is like insane. Like I wish I could have gone, but like
living the dream life. I hope. I hope. Pick me, Sam.
Yeah. So thank you again for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm gonna put all of her links in the description. Make sure you check her out. She's a phenomenal photographer and videographer. And I will see you guys in the next one.